What's up, guys? It's Mr. Jamvat, and welcome to episode whatever of On the Contrary. Today I'm going to be joined with a special guest. It was rough getting him here, man. It was rough getting him here. Had to send several emails, but the Pokemon master himself, PokeMMD, has decided to join us.
Boy, had to give me some dollars, but we're here. What's up, everybody? We're back.
We're back. Like at this point, it's just like a Joey Jamfat pod. Like it's not even my podcast anymore. But it's harder to get a hold of. Like Joey does this, and so one, he's knowledgeable.
I play Pokemon sometimes.
Yeah. It's getting like an MV on the call. Like we'd have to do it at night, or like MV schedule is different, so I don't know MV schedule as well. Blunder, like random as hell.
He's done by 3.
Okay.
You just gotta ask your friends, Jam, because I know everybody's.
Huh?
All you gotta do is ask your friends, hey, what time are you free? And once you know, you know.
It's way too much scheduling, man. It's like, oh, MV has to see like Golden Ozdu at 12. I'm like, man, yeah. So that's my guy. Shout outs to MV. But today's podcast is gonna be surrounded with the new Pokemon coming back, or should I say, old Pokemon returning. I did a road to top 10, right? I did a top 6 on the basically them, like sort of a comedic kind of thing. But in this, we're gonna discuss them in a more serious, expansive manner, and get different opinions. And so we're gonna get the party started. We're gonna go with the more serious ones, and then we'll go to the irrelevance like Poliwrath.
I don't think Poliwrath is too irrelevant.
Nah, I'm kidding. But
it's close combat now.
Yeah, I know, but it ain't OU relevant. It ain't OU relevant, I don't think.
I don't know.
Okay. We'll see when Amoonguss runs up on him, Celebi runs up on him, how relevant he's going to be, or Dragapult. Yeah, let's start off with Talonflame. What are your thoughts on the talents?
I mean, who knows if they actually reworked the way Gale Wings works again, but I think that heavy duty boots is a big plus for Talonflame, because I can see myself using more just get in and go type of thing, U-turn, Brave Bird, Flare Blitz obviously, and I think there's no Tapus right now, but Zeraora is pretty common. However, with Tangrowth coming back, Amoonguss coming back, because I believe Amoonguss was like shown in that little clip, so it looks like Amoonguss is coming back.
Verlisify confirmed, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about him, but yeah. With that, I feel like Talonflame could definitely be like a low-key threatening Pokemon. While it's relatively weak, it's very fast in what is essentially like a weird speed tier. Like the Pokemon currently right now, you're either the fastest Pokemon in the metagame, or you're like mid. You're base 100 and below. So Talonflame has that good thing. It can actually run like Adamant even. But it also outspeeds Pokemon like Cinderace and things like that. So I feel like for Swords Dance offensive variants, that could be cool in lower tiers too. Or even in OU as well, if you can break through something like Rotom. I just think Rotom is a little bit too good right now, and I still think like Heavy Duty Boots Rotom Heat is gonna always be a good fire type. Even if it drops down to UU, I would still opt for it over a current Talonflame, just because how weak Talonflame is initially as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it depends. It depends. Like if it's, as you said, the abilities factoring is gonna be a big deal. I think that if it had, because what comes to mind is Brave Bird and Acrobatics. Both have their downsides. Brave Bird,
yeah.
Obviously,
if it had old ones, yeah.
Yeah. Like if it had a flying move that doesn't break the full health, then with heavy duty boots you could really like abuse that priority Brave Bird. But since obviously you need to be at full with how it worked in the past, after one Brave Bird you have to roost again to get the priority. And so natural speed tier might be fine and all that, but I don't know if Talonflame's dominance was because of the priority at all times. And so if it has to, I guess, has a like certain conditions met before it's a priority move, it's probably gonna just be whatever it was, UU, RU.
Yeah, it was UU RU last gen around there. I think it got banned from RU, so it was RUBL.
But that's what's even with the Z moves, and so with that being gone, you know, it might get worse, and so.
Or it could be better because we have less Pokemon, arguably. So.
True.
And the lower tiers are actually banning Pokemon that you wouldn't have thought they would ban before. Like they banned mons like Goodra and Ryu, which was, you know, not something you saw last generation type of thing.
Oh, Goodra got banned. Why?
It was just really oppressive with choice specs, natural bulk, and checks like the entire tier. So like, even Life Orb sets, physical mix, whatever, it could just do everything. So like, there's a lot of mons like even Centiskorch got banned from Ryu, you know, and Centiskorch. So who knows?
I really wish that was a better mon. Somebody in my comments mentioned that Centiskorch is actually, you know, the hard counter to the Volk. So it's you know, unless it's Hurricane, you're getting walled. Which I thought was funny.
If that mon had around Scolipede, which we all thought it would be speed, or like a little bit less, fantastic.
Yeah.
Base 100 would have been busted. That's all you need. Base 100. You could knock off Rotom. You could power up Seismitoad, Fire Lash, Leech Life.
You just didn't want it to be good, like, or if it was insanely bulky, like, or, you know, like so it's just like a mid-tier mon that doesn't looks cool as shit, but doesn't really.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely caught in my playthrough.
You said. It reminds me of the Psychic Bug. I really like. They're just such cool designs that I'm like, man, like first Psychic Bug, you could have done something else, but it is what it is. Or giving it Quiver Dance or something, like shit. Whatever. But yeah, the Talonflame. So let's go to something a little more relevant. In Skarmory. What are you thinking of Skarmory?
I got a buff. They gave it Body Press. They got another buff. There's no Heat Ran. So I think Body Press specifically is a really cool one because you would see in previous generations, you know, the way Skarmory would be, Bisharp would be like counter, right? Or even people like ABR would use like something similar to like Iron Defense Whirlwind, some crap like that. Or like you let it kill itself, right? But this time, just to give you an example, a Body Press naturally 2-hit KOs max HP Heat Run. It does like 45 to 54%. So offensive Heat Run is 2-hit KO. Just to give you an example. So I think that's pretty cool, especially with Mag Zone coming back. I think that Skarmory has... We have seen... I mean, you've played Battle Stadium singles, but we've seen like Iron Defense, Body Press, Corviknight. But I feel like Skarmory might even give it some competition in that regard. And I think the biggest thing, obviously, is that it has over Corviknight is Spikes plus Whirlwind. So I could still see Skarmory being like OU material. There's no Tapus around. The Rotoms are good, but I mean, Skarmory could just Toxic them. And
that's...
we might see an adaptation, by the way, of whatever moves Skarmory. You might see Toxic, sort of similar to like ADV, Toxic, Spikes, then Roost or something like that. I said Toxic plus Spikes, by the way, for those that be like, Skarmory doesn't get Toxic Spikes. But yeah. Something like that. I don't know if Brave Bird would be ran, but it could be for something like Conk too. And I think Toxic actually does have a lot of use. You're also wearing down Mandibuzz, which defogs. You're wearing down Dragapult. Zero Hour comes in on you thinking it's free. You do a good chunk to it. But I think that Body Press was the coolest addition to Skarm. And giving us a physical steel wall where we already had Corviknight kind of balancing both. But also, you know, if Corviknight's role on your team was to defog and check Excadrill, now that role compression can be, you know, kind of changed a little bit to Skarm doing the same thing. Though Corviknight is overall bulkier on the special side, obviously.
I mean, it's Corviknight's bulkier, period.
Yeah.
The Skarm's defense is like 1% more with the HP max. Like, it's not even relevant, like, damage output wise. So, like, Corviknight's is a bulkier, better mon as a whole. But I think Toxic.
Well, it does. Skarmory takes physical hits like literally like 0.4%, 0.5% better.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like as a whole, like Skarm has more defense, but Corviknight covers that with the HP. Yeah. And so it's like almost the exact same defense as a whole.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you made a good point. One thing Corviknight can't do is can't phase and it can't Toxic. And so, but it can U-turn. Well, Skarm can't U-turn, but Skarm can Spike. And so I could see, based on team structure, some people feeling like, okay, I'd rather be able to phase because I'm running full stall, and I'd rather Skarm phase ability. But I could also see people being like, nah, I want Corviknight's pressure ability. and taunt, and like it's doing the same thing. And I saw they're comparable in typing. I still think Corviknight overall is a better mon.
Yeah.
But like as far as like I could see Skarm, like if you need spikes, because I think spikes has dropped in usage significantly this generation, with the introduction of heavy duty boots and the fact that just so many things don't take that much damage from spikes, whether it be because they're flying heavy duty boots or magic guard, or it's just a regen picks, or it's just so easy, or I won't say so easy to defog, but it's so hard to stop defog. I think in the past a lot of defoggers would have to work, but now
to get in, I mean, heavy duty boost has made such a huge difference. Like, I agree.
Not even for the defoggers, but I'm just saying it's period. Like if Corviknight's gonna defog, you might get body press. The only real punisher you have is the Bisharp, and Bisharp doesn't even kill if it's a defensive one, and then it just knocks you out, or it could just knock you out on the switch, knowing you're gonna go to it, or you can just U-turn, and so your quote unquote defog punisher is getting punished. And Corviknight just doesn't give a fuck about it. And so like back in the past, you'd have Heatran, the Stealth Rockers punished a lot of the defoggers. Tyranitar obviously being able to pursue it and whatnot, and so hazard control is just simpler than it was in the past. And so because of that, I think Skarm might get some worth out of just being able to spike up again, just when I think about the defoggers at the moment. With access to taunt, I could see
toxic body, bro. Being able to body press and Ferrothorn too, like, is so cool as well. Like things like that, like those were straight up setup fodder for you. You let them all get up spiked, you get up all your spikes, you'd roost, and then you whirlwind them out. I think it's super cool to see.
Taunt, body press, toxic roost, taunt, body press, toxic roost. Like
no spikes on that, but but you don't even need it. It can even be spikes. It's a fat breaker, like stopping teleport from Clef.
Because Clef is going to start running a lot more unaware sets, and that's why I think spikes is gonna. I think spikes can have a role again. And again, it's just a lot of cool things that put on a lot of pressure coming back.
Dude, I think Curum plus Belly Drum Oz is going to be nasty.
Right, because it overwhelms similar stuff.
Unaware Clef, because I agree with you that Clef might have to start running some unaware.
And then now you got to be concerned about T-spikes and all kinds of status conditions, which Clef likes to thrive
they can run boots, though, which is cool. Like they can, but then if they're not affected, then this is unaware.
Right, but also, like, unaware is protect and wish. A lot of its the annoyance comes from the fact that you can get 2 turns of leftovers, so turn you switching and the turn you protect. Like, it is gonna be it's not having lefties is a massive difference. Like, it seems negligible, but it is a huge, because you have to wish and protect, or else that shit is not killing.
Lefties is the literal reason why Specs Kyurem doesn't 2K.
Bingo.
So it's like it's a huge, lefties are huge,
and it's
nasty.
And it's it's a lot of times a dark resist. And so what's the most common dart move? That's right, brutal swing. No, knockoff.
Yo,
and so,
why did you make that like you were reading a joke and like, shut up? That's right, brutal swing. This is not the beginning of Pokemon Sun and Moon.
That's funny. It's funny. I'm good at this. But so knock obviously, and so Clef has to start worrying about knock, especially if the Rude is actually legit. That thing's SD knockoff, so it looks like something with at least 330, 383. Like, I don't know base stats, I only know the numbers. But like at least that. Like, I can't see it having lower attack than that. I see it having probably, if I had to guess, at least 416 Darm Adamant. And so that plus 2 life orb knock, grass and dark isn't so bad, and then gets access to close combat, so you wither down that Corviknight a little bit. That Clef's getting whipped, that Chansey's getting whipped, the Quag's getting whipped, the Toxapex is getting whipped, Corviknight's getting knocked, and so it becomes semi-viable, like, unless you're gonna get creative with your like Zaru counter, because it looks fast too, and so I can't think of a Pokemon.
No.
Yeah. So, or whatever that new move is. I don't know if it does damage, but
no, it heals. Jungle healing heals, but it could be a full restore, like actually full healing. Who knows?
But any more thoughts on Skarm?
I'm excited to see that, like, you know, I can run something like physically defensive Skarm and Spadef Corviknight on the same team, or like Spadef bulk up Corviknight. I feel like they pave way for each other, because
they could definitely be
in
run.
general. Yeah, run a Shed Shell on one or the other, and then or get zone, whatever. Really good.
Yeah, I could definitely see, especially if a zone. I mean, that's over. Who knows how this is gonna evolve? I'm gonna say that's 3 steel types, but I could definitely see zone, like Shed Shell,
Skarm, zone,
like zone trapping zones, and just be like, fuck, I can't
body prestige and thunderbolts.
Body pressure, yeah, like whatever I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make sure that my bulk up Corv will not be stopped by another Magnezone, and so even if it's like, if Magnezone ain't specs, like Corviknight will stall your shit out if you're not careful.
Corviknight will eat.
It will sub install your shit, like, especially if you're coming in on a sub. Yeah, you're getting stalled. Like, there's no way around that. And pressure is just stupid as it is, and so when Magnezone gets what's 24 T-bolts, so he really has 12, and so, you know, use those 12 wisely. But yeah, Skarm. Next on the list, Scizor, what's up with our favorite steel bug?
I think one cool thing is it gets Cycle Cut now. So it actually has a way of hitting Toxapex besides knockoff, which I think is pretty nice. And then speaking of Pex, I think we might even see a more Spadef nature ran on it, mainly because Magnezone's back. There's no more Dracovish. Obviously, there's no Arm, right? But it also helps to deal with Volcarona, which is a big thing too. So that would be a big plus for. Obviously, there's a Zumaro though, so that could be completely wrong. But +6, Ozzy doesn't care anyway. But yeah, so I think that Scizor is pretty cool. Losing Pursuit is pretty big for it, considering all the ghost types are there, but it has a really good speed tier. Its speed tier is actually really nice because it's just faster than Pokemon like Aegislash and things like that. Can still knock off, can U-turn, Bullet Punch, and I think Choice Band plus Magnet. I think we're talking about double steel. Scizor plus Zone sounds really cool. Like, just you trap Corviknight. What's their answer to you going for U-turns? They have what's it called? They have Rotom. Rotom takes U-turn damage. There's no hidden power fire. That's a big one.
And then Rotom doesn't like taking knocks.
Exactly. Doesn't like knockoff. Doesn't like U-turn. There's no hidden power fire. So you could even come in on something like Tangrowth, Swords Dance Up, or anything like that. Fear of Sleep Power. Assault Vest Tangrowth might be ran too. I don't think it's as good as what it could be, but I do think it has potential. If it's not OU, I think it has a lot of potential in UU, specifically, because of all the Rotoms and stuff. But
I don't see how it wouldn't be OU, but yeah, like, I don't see what.
There's no heat ran around.
I don't. It's very, like, there's no. I don't see too many Pokemon that would be stopping it from having OU presence. Like, that's how I think about usage. Okay, you're a Dracozolt and you're wavering between OU and UU. Why? Because I can't muscle pass blank blank blank. In Scizor's case, I don't see what it can't muscle by with the new moves, and the fact that it has new partnerships, and so, like, just Banded Scizor Bullet Punch is still phenomenal. Vagapult likes to be real comfortable with his Hex, because a lot of the priority mons, just, I mean, other than Sucker Punch, you rarely ever see Ice Shard, because you don't see Weavile Mammal like that. Speaking of which, Scizor food. So I think about a lot about what gets introduced and how they impact it, and then what kind of usage, like, say they impact, and then it's okay, well, what's starting to raise in usage because, say, Talonflame, for example, is back. Okay, maybe T-Tar comes, oh, Scizor food, nice. Okay, Talonflame's coming back, you know.
I think one of the coolest things about Swords and Scissor, because I think Bandit would be cool, but I think Swords and Scissor has a huge place on offense.
Yeah.
A really good place on offense, like Veil, screens, just I think specifically screens more so than hazards, just because of heavy duty boots. But like Ozzy was going to be ran 2. Scissor has a higher speed tier than that. Bullet Punch is going to be able to kill it after a belly drum. We might even see like Scissors run, U-turn, Bullet Punch, Sewer Power, and then the last move be Quick Attack, which is going to do like 60% to offensive bulk, if banded, obviously. And I think that's a really cool thing.
I don't know if knockoff-less. I can't see a knockoff-less band.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, like, we might see Quick Attack. I think if we're going to see anything, I think Quick Attack would be over, or maybe over Sewer Power. Who knows? Those two.
Yeah, I don't. Super Power is only nailing what Pharaoh. I mean,
yeah,
you're turning on that anyway. You don't want to just get hardwalled by Aegislash.
Aegislash takes a ton though. If it actually attacks something else. Yeah, if it's in its even though it resists, it takes a ton from everything. Like it's choice band Scissor, bro.
It's quad resisted Aegislash. That's doing literally 9%.
How much you think it's actually doing? 9% to the sword version. So an Aegislash.
Why would it be in sword?
If it attacked, it does about 30. It does almost 40%.
Oh, if it attacks before you and it specs, you're dead. Like you're probably like a.
No, I'm talking about like you bring in Scissor to revenge, but you're in a decision where if I knock off, it lets them bring in X, Y, Z, versus that U-turn gives you maybe you need the momentum to win, whatever. I'm just saying like U-turn does a good chunk. It does close to it does 31 to 36, whereas Bullet Punch does 53 to 62%. Like it's crazy just how it's strong.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, but still no damage because you're not trying to get Shadow Ball. That's why you sent Scissor in. Like
Shadow Ball also doesn't kill.
But I'm saying if you go for U-turn and you're faster, then you clearly you didn't want whatever else was in the back to use to get Shadow Ball.
Yeah.
And so you were hoping that he'd either, because I think King Shield is still legit. Like people just use specs, but I can definitely see King Shield coming back. Yeah, like King Shield.
Yeah, if there's no more Unaware Clef, I think that makes a difference for it. Because unless you're using Flash Cannon, you're not breaking Clef anyway. Are you talking about like subsets, like sub-toxic King Shield?
I'm saying just using King Shield. It's not like a generic 2-attack toxic King Shield set is still like I've used that and destroyed. I'm talking current meta, just absolutely destroyed. Because the only comfortable switching Aegislash has is Pex and some Corviknights, and so after a certain point. Well, what I started to see was the pattern then became like Corviknight, Mandibuzz didn't even feel. They do switch in, but then they get toxic and then they lose because at that point you can only foul play. Foul play does 0 with Blade Form, all that stuff, and so you lose to Aegislash 1v1, and so it becomes Corviknight Pex, and then they have to go to it because people are so used to being able to pivot between the Ghost resist and the Steel resist versus specs, and so just having King Shield and just being a normal Aegislash where you're just ridiculously hard to kill is still very valuable. So I think people get locked into I need it to be specs or SD or banded, which are all good sets, but I've destroyed so many teams, especially the stall ones. You can't touch me, and so they have this Corviknight. They had Corviknight, Clef, Pex, and I just between Aegislash and Clef, Clef absorbs all the status, and then Aegislash absorbs everything else, and so between those two they could not. And then Corviknight, they were precious, literally just those three switch stalling, and it'd be like a 300 turn game, but you can't break them, and so just having leftovers on the Aegislash
makes a huge difference. Yeah,
possible to kill. But yeah, I think that can start. I think open-mindedness definitely should return. I start to see, weirdly enough, later in the game, like now, a lot of cooler sets are starting to emerge. Maybe.
Yeah, legit. Like right now, it's cool. That's what happens, right? A metagame develops, and when you start seeing a standard, you're able to change from that standard, or change because of that standard.
Right.
But it's cool. Like I've been seeing so much. I've been using a lot of Necrozma lately, just in general as a Pokemon. I think it's very good.
Yeah.
Despite all the Ghost and Dark types, it's really good because Prism Armor is great. Like,
Broken.
and you live your hits. I've seen Dragon Dance. I've seen Calm Mind. I've seen Stored Power variants too.
Super underexplored.
Yeah, it's so like a lot of teams I have are very. Some of them are very like the offensive teams I have are actually pretty flowcharty as of late. So like, you sack Cloyster to weaken the Mon, or you burn like Hydreigon with Mew, so that way Calm Mind, Stored Power, Iron Defense, Necrozma can win, whatever. Or like I have another one where it's like Swords Dance, Scopeland, Psycho Cut, Age Slash, which is actually something that I think offensive scissor could run if it really wanted to break through Pex, because it's a 50% chance to crit. And I've been using that, and like when I see team preview, I'm like, okay, I throw away my Como to weaken their Rotom to 40%, so that way I win with Age Slash, and they think their Pex is enough. I beat Pex, and beat boop bam. So it's like it's so cool to see how the metagame is adapting, and we're seeing really cool sets like that. And I'm just running some calcs real quick attack just to know, like, you do 49 and 58% to Volk, and Bullet good. Punch does like 40%. So this is gonna be clean. Yeah, but we're not talking about that. But we were talking about that. But
yeah, we were talking Scizor. That's where we were at. And so, okay, so people have a lot of mixed. I guess if you're a Nat Dex player, which isn't technically a metagame, but one, because of Z-moves, and two, because Mons that hidden power pursuit, Mons that are in there aren't actually going to be in this game. And so, like, obviously no Tapus, yada yada yada. And so Slowbro, how it performs in Nat Dex won't be necessarily how it perform in this. And so what are your thoughts on normal Slowbro?
Okay, so I still think it's good. I think good. It's really good. I think some things that actually make it a little bit less good is that, like you said, a lot of mons that are in national decks are not in here, and that also counts for mons that we have banned that haven't been banned on national decks. Dracovish is banned in our metagame. Darmanitan is banned in our metagame. They're both allowed, and they're both top 10 in usage in national decks, or like top 15 usage. So I have like a thing going on. So that makes a big difference. And then right now you have Tangrowth coming back. You have Magnezone coming back. You have Azumarill, which breaks Slowbro with Belly Drum. You have Kingdra, which I can't wait till we talk about that, because I think that's a sleeper for sure. And like, not only that, but you have a plethora of ghosts, a plethora of dark types. I think one thing that Slowbro can help with is obviously like something like Conkeldurr, but even Conkeldurr, if it's bulk up, can muscle through Bro. So while I do think it's very, very, very good, if you actually go through the current OU tier list, a lot of the mons can 1v1 the standard set of Slowbro of like Teleport, with Regenerator. I do think Teleport and Regenerator is great for more passive Pokemon, right? Coming in on Corviknight, coming in on Toxapex, just take a hit. And then obviously checking Cinderace, the new hidden ability Cinderace is really cool too. But I don't know, like, I've even been able to muscle through Slowbro, because a lot of time they teleport, they don't throw off Scalds or anything, with like Excadrill or just some layers. And Slowbro is like the type of mon that's not going to be running heavy duty boots most likely. They're probably running Rocky Helmet or leftovers, so it can avoid some KOs and punish some turns. So it's something that will be taking hazard damage too. And then if you run Teleport, right, so I think the given moves on Slowbro are always going to be, if you have Teleport, Slack Off, and Scald, right? So what are you running in your last move? Are you running Psychic to hit the fighting types? Okay, then Ferrothorn is just going to come in infinitely, and you Leech Seed, Knock Off, Spike Up. Are you running Flamethrower to hit Ferrothorn? Okay, well then I'm going to bulk up with my Conk in front of you, or you're not running Ice Beam? Okay, well then my Hydreigon's going to come in, you click Teleport, I Nasty Plot, I bop your Clefable with Flash Dance. So, Hydreigon
is definitely something you don't want to be set up fodder for.
Exactly. Oh god, that month, I can tell you how many times like I've went hard into a Pokemon that will die to Draco, but I had to, because I'll lose two Pokemon if they go for Nasty Plot.
Oh yeah, thing is a very, very dangerous thing. Very.
Yeah. Gets better now too. Magnezone's locked in the Thunderbolt. More Psychic types coming back. Immune to Crocodiles like Earthquake and stuff. The Crocodile gets close combat, which would be really cool.
Yeah, you think Crocodile's going to be OU?
I don't think so, but I think it's going to be
used.
I think it has a niche.
Yeah, I can see that.
Intimidate, plus it's a new addition of close combat.
And
Lose
ground.
Pursuit, which is a big thing, yeah.
And it's a stealth. You can learn Stealth Rock, right?
Yep. Yeah, it just still has Stealth Rock.
Yeah. You're actually, it's funny, people don't realize we don't have, like, it's first time in a while where ground types, unless you're using a straight up fat ground type, we don't have pivoty grounds anymore, like Garchomp, Lando. Like ground, like I see teams without ground types quite frequently. Because they're just, if I'm trying to use a ground type, it's got to be Rhyperior, it's got to be Quagsire, it's got to be Hippowdon, Seismitoad, and so
all them boys sit.
Yeah, they're sitting style ground types, and so Crook brings an interesting dynamic, particularly. I mean, you have Drill too, but even then, like Drill isn't something you switch into shit. And so most electric types have something to fuck a Drill up, unless it's Scarf. And the electric types are Zera. Somewhere slipping me right now. Rotom Heat gets fucked up. Drill gets fucked up by that.
Just not. I think knock on a fast dark type that uses knockoff. I think is good, because it's the type of mon that, a lot of Pokemon that use knockoff right now, they're not going to be luring in too much, right? And that's why I think knockoff Clefable has been used recently, and I'm liking it a lot, because knockoff Clefable is the type of mon that you do bring in nasty plot Rotom in to set up on, right? But like, you don't really stay with your Mandibuzz on Clef unless you're roosting it off. Like they make a misplay, you're down 90%, and then they go Clef. You're definitely roosting to beat it. But a lot of the knockoff mons currently, like Bisharp doesn't force in Rotom on the turn it comes in, like, so you're not going hard Rotom on a Bisharp clicking knockoff type of thing. Conkeldurr is not coming in on, you're not coming in on Conkeldurr with Rotom unless it already got a kill. But Crocodile is different because it has that Earthquake coverage. So if you have a Zeraora in front of me, and I'm in a position where I can afford to click knockoff, and you go Mandibuzz, you go Rotom, getting rid of your item is big for this.
A lot of the ground immunities are
exactly. And it's something that, like, I mean, knocking off Corviknight is nothing. Corviknight's probably the most knocked off mon right now. But that's another thing. And resistance, an offensive ground type that can beat Cinderace, I think is pretty cool too.
Right, and Moxie, like I think because the ground types are so predictable, like a simple zone Crook situation forces something like Buzz, and so you might have a Crook set that's toxic, Earthquake knock, like something obscure like that.
I've used Block Toxic as well. I know that's not the same thing, but you talked about Moxie. I want to mention that Crocodile getting close combat is so amazing because fighting is so spammable, and before it had superpower, so you can't spam it because you're going to be lowering your stats, but now you have big old close combat, which is hella spammable. You're not lowering your attack, you're still lowering your stats, but you're not lowering your attack, so it's hella spammable for this Pokemon.
It's strong. Well, actually, no, they're the same power.
Still strong though.
Yeah. Alright, Crook. So we just discussed Slowbro. I'd agree. Like I just can't see. Cinderace is a good one because it can, if it's running a status style to where it can, poison Mandibuzz, or I assume unaware Clefs, give Chansey something to do, or Tangros and whatnot. And so, because Cinderace can sucker, I mean, it's not killing, but I mean, you at that point you gotta burn it, and so it's not 100% reliable, because they're always bulk up. I've been seeing bulk up, obvious force and then between high jump kick and power ball, and so obviously Slowbro walls. If you're toxic, the Cinderace can never touch you. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, but even Cinderace, if it's not helmet Slowbro, if you opted for leftovers or you get knocked on your Slowbro, even a bandit Cinderace is a thing too.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that Cinderace has to take rocks. The upside of the other one is that no matter what it comes in, that it doesn't take any damage unless you switch it in on something. With the bandit variant, sure, you can U-turn around and it'll hurt, but if it's a helmet Slowbro and you have rocks up, you gotta take rocks, and here at 50%. The next time you attack, you better attack wisely. I
was just thinking about bandit Cinderace plus Specs Magnezone. That sounds really fun together.
I'm sure they're the plethora of combinations. I mean, Rilla, I'm sure is gonna have some more interesting interaction. I think people are still figuring that mon out, but I still think it can have some more interesting interactions with the meta and just abusing grassy terrain. It forces in a lot of the same shit, so its knockoffs are almost guaranteed. Like you turn into zone.
Its knockoffs are comparable, I think, to Crocodiles in a sense that you're gonna come in on your resist, right? Woodhammer, drum beating. You're gonna go Mandibuzz. You're gonna go Rotom.
You're gonna go Corviknight, U-turn, Magnezone gone, and Zone is under grassy terrain, and so even if like the Corv tries some shit or it survives because it's max def and you're not specs or whatever, right? You're in such a phenomenal position because not too much can come in and comfortably like just spam ground moves on whatever else you had, or there's just a lot of cool interactions I think that can happen. Not to mention the addition of the new moves and seeing how those are going to interact with obviously the advent of Grassy Glide, and so we'll see how those also play a role, because if it is a water type U-turn, we could also see some kind of Bandit Azu U-turn situation going on with the water move and trapping, and so I think there's just so many cool interactions that are coming about that I just overlooked. We just don't have enough info, and so it's like, fuck it, hopefully it's not, I don't think it can be, just because it's just new mons and a lot of them are offensive, but we were talking about this pre-home, like, all the new toys, and then it got worse and more suppressive, and so I can't see that for this one, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, so next one, Kingdra. As you were saying, you seem pumped. I want to hear what you got.
I think a few things about Kingdra is that Water and Dragon are a lot better right now because there is no Tapu Fini. And obviously there's still Primarina, and obviously we'll be getting the Azumarill, and then we'll also be getting what's it called, Chansey. But I feel like Rain offense has a huge chance of being that. And we were talking about Poliwrath before, but I actually think that Poliwrath is going to be cool because it gets close combat, it gets Drain Punch now, right? It gets Darkest Lair, it gets high horsepower, and there's Ice Punch also in its move pool. So like it has potential to break for Kingdra too. But I just think those Rain boosted, that was kind of something that Rain was missing. On the special side, before you had Metronome Mantine, which is trash now, right? Or you had something like Seismitoad, right? Those don't be comparing to my boy Kingdra firing up Hydro Pumps and Draco.
Yeah, nothing's taking that.
Or even like Focus Energy, Scope Lens Kingdra. I think because the metagame is slowed down a lot, right? You're not worried about Lele coming in on a Draco, Magearna coming in and eating a hit type of thing, or Coco, whatever. I keep naming the top. No, I hope it does. Okay. But honestly, I mean, Snipe Shot don't matter if you get Focus Energy and Scope Lens, because it's 100% regardless.
Well, I was just thinking, isn't Snipe Shot like it doesn't it? Oh, is it just like a higher crit?
Yeah, high crit, and it ignores abilities in redirection abilities. Okay. So, like, it doesn't actually ignore Storm Drain; it still hits you, but in doubles it ignores it. It would be busted if it ignored Storm Drain. Period. I think Gigantamax Inteleon, which is coming out, its G-Max move ignores Storm Drain completely, so you can actually hit like Gastrodon with that, but that doesn't matter for us.
Right.
But yeah, I think that specifically, like, it gets Hurricane too, which is pretty cool. Nice spammable move. And who knows what else it gets? Like it might actually end up getting Dragon Darts as a physical move. It might end up getting Snipe Shot itself, because it definitely looks like, if anything, if there's something going to go for darts, if there's something that's going to go for sniping, it looks like it's Kingdra.
For sure.
So I do think that this has a lot of potential.
You might see Gastro getting. I just thought about that. Gastro, with a lot of the new mons, I can definitely see Gastro coming back. Yeah, heavy. Particularly, I can definitely see Rain getting a lot more usage.
I think Rain gets better. Like I would compare Rain. I guess not compare it to early Sword and Shield meta because Dynamax was broken, but at least on the special side, I think Rain gets a lot better because Rain was kind of lacking, like I said, in that side.
In the immediate power, yeah. Because also Ferrothorn runs Fizz Def, and so it can't switch in on Kingdra.
Exactly.
Gets to a KO. Maybe by even Surf after rocks. Some of them run Helmet too. So like even there's just a lot of, and then obviously Rain already overwhelms Ferrothorn. So, and Poliwrath doesn't have to use Reversal or whatever the fuck it has.
And I think another thing is that the fact that Volcarona is probably going to be so much of a threat, the having a reliable mon that's faster than it is pretty cool.
For sure. I mean, I'm not gonna go too much into Magnezone. We've kind of indirectly touched on it a lot of times, and I did the top 6 video, which we kind of like. Magazone is pretty straightforward. It's gonna do what it's gonna do. It's gonna do it well. That's why you've always used it.
Yeah, might see analytic sometimes.
Yeah. I think it's still super strong. Yeah. Does it get weather ball or anything like that now?
No,
okay.
Unfortunately not.
Okay, I was gonna say like you could even abuse that, but I think zone for the first time in a minute like can just inherently put a stop to certain things. So in the sense of like as I was talking about the Corv, Clef, Toxapex, those style of teams, like just stab wise it just destroys, and so it gets toxic too, right? So ground types can't get too comfortable coming in.
I mean, you run your shed shell, and then you're not taking on conk, you're not taking on Excadrill.
Mm-hmm. And you are like it switches into knockoff mons too much. Like generally, you don't have a ton of strong ground immunities. If you have a Corv, that's your ground immunity too. And so a lot of ground types do like to use knockoff, or things that use strong ground moves tend to like to use knockoff. Other than maybe drill. Toad uses knockoff. Crook, as you were saying. I'm completely forgetting the other grounds. But so we discussed the main ones. I'm gonna save the blob for a little bit. Remember in your video you kind of discussed me and Shao.
I mean I kind of grazed over something like Lycanroc. I think Lycanroc with close combat, gets high horsepower, it gets psychic fangs, all that stuff. It gets a Cellar, so I could check Vocal Run. I feel like that's
I think it can be. I think there's because really the only thing I can think of that's comfortable with that mon is Hippo.
Yeah, Hippo and like maybe Fizdef Corviknight. Like I'm gonna run some calcs right here on Tough Claws.
I don't even think Fizdef, but mons like those you're either gonna have to roost, and again zone. Like that's the thing before, like you didn't have to think about getting trapped, and so Corv can't just sit. Corv loves to sit. Like it loves to sit because it's pressure stalling you as well.
Yeah, just to note in real quick. +2 Life Orb close combat does about the same damage as +2 knockoff versus Corviknight, 71 to 84, which is a lot. That's max defense. A +2 high horsepower from Lycanroc is a straight OHKO on physically defensive Toxapex.
Yeah, I definitely think with the Tough Claws and a lot of its contact shit, like it has.
Do you even need Stonage? Do you need Stonage? I'm thinking about it.
I mean, I don't know what the tier has. I'd have to think about it. Maybe like a Clef. What's high horsepower doing to Clef? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's killing. Yep, 106 min.
To what? Spadef. Yeah, Spadef dies, of course. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think that's definitely one of those underrated offense threats. Because you have to be worried about SD and its moves are so damn lethal. Like sometimes, like a Bisharp may not be comfortable SDing or suckering, or if you're gonna spam Bandit, I could see being just like you click the right move, you're probably 2 KOing everything in the tier, except maybe Hippo. Like I don't think he gets Aqua Tail or anything like that. So, but I think that thing is one of those low key mons that you're ill prepared, you get run up on, and it'll just blow through 4 of your mons.
Just by attacking.
Yeah, this destruction. And so you mentioned Lycanroc. What about, I would group these 3. You just kind of Troticon, Mienshao, and Zora. What do you think, Zoroark?
I think Zoroark has a place as well. A lot of, like I said, Topless being on is cool. Like Nasty Plot has a good speed tier in this metagame.
Mm-hmm.
Like a really good speed tier.
And Dark type.
Yep, Dark type is really good. Being resistant to Sucker Punch is nice.
And you get Sludge move. Well, I think he got Sludge Bomb.
It got Sludge Bomb before as an event move. Now it gets it as a regular move. I believe it also gets Psychic, if I'm not mistaken, which was like Dark, which is good for like Colo and stuff like that too. Pex. Extra Sensory is what it gets. Extra Sensory.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like even just a mixed one, just like playing around with it with like so many less threats, just clicking knockoff in general. I think a Dark type is always going to be solid, especially when it has good coverage.
Yeah, I don't think. We'll see.
Not,
I don't know if it's
not
gonna
OU.
be like OU.
Not OU.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna be OU. Me and Shao and Jodagan.
Mienshao now gets close combat, so that's awesome. You don't have to risk missing high jump kick, though. Its biggest thing was you freaking click high jump kick and you have no switching.
Like banded high jump kick, I think would still be legit.
Yeah, with like reckless or something. Yeah.
Speed tier is very good. I think that could be like banded HAK unless you're a Toxapex. I can't think of too many things. Obviously immunities, but then you have to think about the knock because there's no ghost stat comfortably switching into a banded knock. So I do think I can see it's just coming in on those niche tiers, faster than base 100s, and just banded HAK. Like, you know, even if you're a Pex, like if you get knocked, if you get knocked and stealth rocks up, I'm pretty sure you get 2 KO'd. Because you're gonna know Pex has to be a switch and you knock it the first time. Rocks aren't the most complicated thing. Pex generally either gets burnt or there's rocks up. Very rarely do one of those two things not happen to a Pex. And so even Pex just getting straight blown back. So I think that could be something like if you're just one of those. It's like a banded Araquanid last gen. It's like one of those things where it's like if you're not quite prepared, you're gonna lose a couple mons, and there's just nothing you can do about it. In its case, because it's so fast.
Am I calculating this wrong?
What? It's too much damage.
It's too little damage.
What is it? Reckless?
Yeah, it's reckless. It's adamant too. I put high jump kick.
Yeah, you're calculating it wrong, bro.
I have to be calculating it wrong.
Yeah. Take the bulk up off the Toxapex.
I was checking if it had reflect. Whatever, I'll check again. But
yeah, it should be doing at least like 42%. Like it should be doing massive amounts of damage because Cinderace's Pyro Ball does like Banded Pyro Ball does I think 40 something. Under the Sun it 2 KO specs and Quag and all those things. And so with Reckless, Banded plus HAK, I can't see how it's not doing at least 40%.
But you're right. You're right. I mean, you're most likely right. I'm just looking. Maybe because I forgot to put a choice band.
Let me do it.
I'm running the calc right now.
Okay. Unless I'm just forgetting something. Like I know.
Is yours wrong too?
I haven't calculated yet. No, I feel you fat as hell. Yeah. So
make sure you unpause it, please.
I did. But yeah, so we're just like the me and Shao calc was just not adding up because I don't know what's going on, but I guess
it's always been 1.2. I thought it was more.
Yeah, it's crazy. I thought it was like a third of the damage.
Yeah.
But
apparently Tentacle got confirmed.
Oh, dope. The memes will return. Tentacle. How did it get confirmed?
I don't know. I just saw somebody say it, so I don't know if that's right.
Oh, okay, yeah, they're lying. But as we wrap up, okay, we actually were ignoring Starmie. What do you think of Starmie?
It's teleport now. There's no pursuit. Reflect type sets could be interesting too. The Ferrothorn runs body press now and knockoff, so I might actually beat it 1v1. I still think Scald is good. I think its offensive options are very good too, specifically because Aegislash got nerfed. So it actually gets like 2 KO by Hydro Pump, and because Aegislash are running more offensive ones, it definitely gets 2 KO by Pump. So that's cool, because that was one thing that actually in XY made Starmie fall down to the UU tier, was Aegislash and Greninja. One of them doesn't exist right now, the other one isn't running the King Shield sets that I was running back then. So
wait, they nerfed Aegislash's stats?
Yeah, it's 140 instead of 150.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know they nerfed King Shield, but I didn't know they nerfed his stats. Well, that makes sense. Why it's not taking shit as well as it used to.
Yeah.
150 is a lot, but yeah. Yeah, I could see I could see it just being so powerful and analytic that it can like chew up a core with the right move, like just like that. You know, you're in versus specs, you click pump on whatever their initial switch would be, and then it falls apart. There you expect Chansey, analytics, Side Shock, Life Orb, Rocks up, blow. Yeah, Chansey's no longer. And so I can see it being like solid. I don't know. That's an interesting one. I don't know. I just don't know. It has the coverage to be a problem, but we'll see. Starmie has always been one of those mid-tier mons that stay. Well, it wasn't OU in X and Y as you said, but it generally just remains OU somehow. But it hasn't been overwhelming.
It stopped since that last Gen 6 though, like you said. Yeah,
it's not overwhelming. I mean, but it came back to OU since then. Like, I'm pretty sure Starmie was OU in.
Starmie's Gen 7 UU. But it's been back and forth, but it definitely dropped more than it's.
Yeah. I didn't know it dropped to UU in Gen 7. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense because it wasn't as lethal, yeah. And so, I forgot this guy, Tangrowth.
Go.
You think it's going to be devastating?
I think it's great. I think it's great as a special wall. Great as a physical wall, excuse me. Sleep powder I think is going to be really nice too. We don't have a lot of sleep powdering mons right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of knockoff mons that bait in a lot of mons, Tangrowth is going to bait in everything. You switch in everything. Stopping zone. It's not going to get overwhelmed by Gren plus Magearna. Like a Spike's Gren plus like Magearna plus Stab while switching Ice Beaming, Dark Pulsing, getting flinch. Losing Hidden Power sucks because it can't Hidden Power Fire Scizor. But its ability just to disrupt. Or at least get rid of the items, disrupt on defensive cores I really like.
Yeah, it's another interesting one. Like it could be I think it fills a lot of holes that we're missing, that we don't even know that are missing until it comes back, because we didn't have a definitive solid grass type like Rillaboom just came about, but before that it was just Ferrothorn, and so the Ferrothorn doesn't resist ground. Which is a big thing. Like grass types would do. They'd be like a lot of ground types were, in the case of more so Drill. I can't really think of much more. But Drill almost always forced in the flying type.
Yeah. And this is one that can just beat that itself.
Mm-hmm. And especially with Rocky, Drill, you don't have to Rocky Corv anymore, or you don't have to force Rocky Hippo when you got a Tangrowth, and he's just like, okay, bet you wanna go? Okay, cool, I'm gonna punish that. And it's just, especially with Rain too, I think it'll add another, because Barraskewda, I mean, it might have still gotten usage as the Rain physical mon, but certainly now it's a non-factor. What's it called? The other one, the rock water one, Dreadnought, is now irrelevant with Tangrowth. And so a lot of physicals, just really strong. To a degree, if Conk doesn't predict correctly, Tangrowth will sit. But I mean, Tangrowth doesn't usually run a recovery move, and so it's not as comfortable. But it's such a bulky mon that shit like Bans AG has to get punished and likely doesn't 2-hit KO it with anything. Gets Rocky Helmet, has to worry about getting knocked off, and so, or getting sleep powdered. I think it's just one of those. It's just so damn versatile that I don't know where to put it. It's kind of just it could be one of the best things since Sliced Bread, because we could see just random mons that weren't really relevant before skyrocket to OU, when Aegislash got banned.
I feel like the one of the biggest pluses is Zeraora is not a factor with this mon.
Yeah, that too. Good point. Not at all. And so we might see Zera just tank. You know what I mean? Zera is pretty common now, and that could just all change with a ton of new mons coming back. But Tangrowth just invalidating all its sets. Calm Mind validates physical, just chills.
Tangrowth being able to take on Specs Aegislash is really cool too.
Oh, the AV set eats.
Yeah. It does.
It doesn't get to a kill?
Nope. Just shy.
And he kills back with Earthquake?
Yep. Well, 95 to 111. But knocking off Specs is just as good,
True. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I could see some cool interactions with just so many things, so many cool cores. I think will come back. And this obviously isn't all the mons, and so like we may get some cool fire types back, beyond just Volk and the new Cinderace. And so, rumor has it we're getting a few more starters, and so, we'll see about that. I mean, if Grin comes back this time, then, yeah, this game is over. Cinderace plus Grin, this game is a wrap. Nobody will be checked. Like those two, I think, in conjunction can check everything with their abilities. And obviously, if Grin comes back, Ash Grin comes back, I'd assume so. We'll see. And so, last two will be Volcarona and Chansey.
Chansey's huge. We have a special wall that can beat special attackers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's what Chansey is.
Yeah, you're cute.
It gives we might see more Chansey balances. You might see Chansey offenses even, man.
Yeah. Chansey offense is back. I definitely
can see it. It gets teleport now, so it doesn't have to be a momentum sucker for you. It can't wish plus teleport. That's an illegal combination, which is good, as far as we know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think just Chansey on a team is just crazy. With Volcarona coming back, it's great. Now everything in their mom runs knockoff right now, so I don't think it's going to be as oppressive as it has been in physical. Like in previous gens, it's very hard to knock off Chansey because you have a million fairy types that come in, but like everything runs knockoff.
But it's gonna do what it does well though. Like so, your Kyurem irrelevant, your Dragapult specs irrelevant. Like your like
Dragapult the big one, man. Specs Hex breaking the best answer to it, which is Clef.
Right. Like Dragapult, I'm curious to see how that's gonna. It might get even better, or it might just like struggle. But
sub Dragon Dance might make a return.
What's the logic behind that?
Avoids toxic from Chansey.
Oh, true. And I mean, currently, I can definitely see Mandibuzz struggling, and so because Mandibuzz is gonna get forced to not knock so often, they're just gonna have to take around the rocks, and that's all Dragapult needs when it boosts. Because a lot of times, and a lot of them are Spadef now, and in the past when DD was a really popular set, a lot of them were Fizdef, and so because DD Specs Dragapult never used to run Hex. It used to be like just a
Shadow Ball, Shadow Ball, Fire Blast, Draco, Thunderbolt, or U-turn.
Yeah, and so Mandy wasn't like the premier mon. And Mandy was there for it because Specs Aegislash wasn't as popular as SD. I mean, it was, but it wasn't like as the physical one was definitely between Band and SD were super dominant. And then it shifted, and then Corv stopped using Fizdef and it shifted to Spadef, because people realized how Spadef when it started to shift to Bulk Up Bird, and it was just like a bunch of shifts throughout the meta, and then it's like, holy shit, Spadef Corviknight is like stupid bulky. Like, I think when people realize like you cannot OHKO that thing with nothing, like they're like, yo. And so Fizdef, I really recently just kind of started to get some traction again, but before, like Spadef just ran the meta. It was a random meta, and then obviously last but not least, Volk Arona as hello.
Oh, my bad. I thought you cut off for a second.
No, I said Volcarona.
Okay. Heavy duty boots is one of the biggest blessings for Volcarona ever, right? Like, you no longer have to run 3 magic bounce users and 2 rapid spinners and a defogger in order to use Volk, right? I don't gotta use Volk Zatu. Not that I won't use Volk Zatu, but I gotta use Volk Zatu Excadrill, or Deancey Volk type of thing in order for it to work. So that's one of the biggest things for Volcarona. I think 2 things. Currently, there's no Heatran, so there's no use for Hidden Power Ground, and there's no Hidden Power. So that's like a nerf and a plus for it at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Actually having reliable recovery and roost makes the defensive ones very scary, and the fact that Toxapex is currently running physically defensive makes Psychic very scary as a third move or last move on Volcarona. Though I do think, like I said, Toxapex will be switching to a more special defensive set. I don't quote me on that, but I feel like it's something that could happen. I think that this offensive presence and the lack of reliable revenge killers is huge, right? Like before, in terms of Scarfers that can revenge Volk, you have Scarf Rocks like Greninja. You had potentially, I guess, Scarf Coco with Brave Bird if you wanted. And just like options like that in the previous generations. In terms of defensive options, you had Tapu Fini, which doesn't exist currently. You have Chansey, which is just now coming back. You had Heatran. Volcarona is just a type of person that can kind of just set up in front of a lot. And yeah, Azu coming back at the same time is good for it, though. Good for like checking it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's no Tornadus either. So there's no Zapdos clicking discharge in front of you and paralyzing you as you're going for game.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's huge for Vulcan. I think as in terms of offensive presence, fire.
Fire.
What about you? Yeah.
And then you complain about my jokes, okay? But nah, yeah, that's. I mean, obviously, guys, you know there are other things like the Golducks and you know the Alolan Executors and whatnot. But yeah, those are irrelevant, and so Exploud isn't gonna be OU, nor is Emolga.
So I think that Scrappy Boom Burst is pretty good.
I think in general, yeah, I don't think it's OU good. Like I can't see, it's just such a slow mon. I mean, like, if I could see some Hita Fajita coming about, like it could have done its thing back in, back then too, but it just wasn't like, no, you weren't gonna like use it, like not in like a tour game or something, in a real serious manner. But you know, speaking of which, you know, who knows as far as T-Tar, like T-Tar might see some love again. I'm curious to see. Better. Curious to see, like a lot of the mons that got
T-Tar. Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's all good. I was just actually thinking, looking at the list, a lot of the mons T-Tar lose to, but a lot of them can't switch into it, and so I could see definitely a band set just, you know, especially if clefs are leaning to unaware. It's generally gonna be your best crunch switching, maybe Hippo too. But you gotta fear that or that Hydro Pump, you know what I'm saying? But we'll see. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. You guys got an hour. This was unintended, but yeah, there are a lot of mons to discuss, and I did want to get this out before Joey goes to, you know, handle his business and before the release of the DLC. And so, heavily requested video, we got it done. Thank you for joining me today, Pokémon MD.
Of course, thank you for having me.
And yeah,
got a lot of content coming out. I'm gonna be doing movesets for everything.
Oh yeah, you best believe. Like when he says everything, like
I'm not even just talking about the new Pokemon. I think I'm doing it for everything. Like, if it gets a new move, it's gonna be there.
Like Psyduck Egg can learn bounce.
Okay, I'm down.
He's doing it for everything. Like how to use Choice Band. Wait and see, my guys. But like good content though, so it's like, you know, you can't lose when you subscribe to PokeMD. And so yeah, thanks guys, and do hit the like button if you made it this far. Comment to me on what you disagreed with, what you agreed with, what do you think we should have discussed, as we can improve this podcast. And I'll try to make it, at least, even if it has to be me by myself. I do want to, since it's such a high demand thing, do them every week. And so yeah.
Damn. I'll be here.
Yeah, but like, you know, like especially with this coming, like I know you're gonna be working, and I will too, and so like it might be a scheduling thing in the middle of the day, and so I'll understand. But obviously, I always try to get Joey on here because I think it's just better. But yeah,
appreciate y'all.
Peace.
Leave a like.